bring this down here because I don't want to be in sync. So how long had you had this issue of feeling, how would you describe it before you did this exercise?
Well, I thought it was a belief. I thought it was, oh, this is inappropriate or whatever to be walking up to women in the supermarket.
Right.
Once I changed the energy and started breathing through my belly, it changed it so much so that you soften your tonality.
You know, instead of saying you, I want you to own it. I softened my tonality.
I softened my
That's
tonality.
right, own it.
Felt much better, and I even changed my beliefs right before my eyes, which taught me that it's not really my beliefs, it's the energy that was needed to be changed.
Now, stay right there. What's your name?
Brendan.
For those of you who are scientifically minded, or there's people who study the hard scientists or do engineering or something, I want you to understand I have a profound respect for science. When he talks about energy, I don't know that it's actually something that can be measured on the electromagnetic spectrum. There's no units that you can measure it in. There's no instrument with which you can measure it. So I'm speaking of energy as a metaphor. I respect science. I have a very precise mind. So I'm not claiming that I understand the nature of it. I do know as a metaphor and as an experience, there is a flow of feel in the body that connects to a perception of the world that enables you to do things. Remember what I said. I said something. Now I'm really going to hammer on it today because today's the day I prove my chops as a teacher. Listen to me. I said we can change from the top down, meaning we can change beliefs, and that's very important. We can do affirmations. Does anyone here do my rabbit pee affirmations? Do you know what that is, rabbit pee? Okay, I'm going to have to review this for you guys. The keys to confidence with women is rabbit pee. We'll get to that in a minute. But we can change from the top down. Do we understand what I mean by the top down? Changing beliefs, doing self-hypnosis, doing affirmations, creative visualization. I believe in all of that and I practice it. It's beautiful and it works. And at the same time, we can change from the bottom up. I mean changing from our neurology, from the way in which we process feel and energy in the body. Now, given people are going to have different responses to those different interventions. Some people are going to respond more strongly to the cognitive part. But you guys, most of you, up until recently, have been so much in this anyway that this is not where the leverage is going to be. For you, the leverage is going to be getting into your body in a specific way that allows you to show up without all the old crap being stuck in front of you. Picture all your old limiting beliefs, responses, emotions, frustrations as like a big plexiglass tank of crap that you're holding out in handles in front of you, and you walk up to a woman, whether you know it or not, and go, hi there, and meanwhile this is there, and they're responding to this. Have you ever felt that way, that somehow there's some kind of automatic yuck that they're responding to? All right, that's what it is. So I'm simply saying, spinning around in your head and putting in different beliefs is not going to get that to drop. First, we got to get that to drop by doing this simple thing, and then we can put in the new beliefs. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then the other thing we do is to stop the process of reinfection. So I'll put it to you like this. We want to show you how to be in a flow of feel and a presence that's different by doing an exercise like that, like this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That means you're no longer approaching people with that big, huge plexiglass tank full of crap. So you've got a fighting chance. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The second thing we want to do is we want to program in some new beliefs and show you how to take on some new characteristics. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
But the third thing we've got to make sure we do is that you don't reinfect yourself with the old stuff. Remember I said yesterday that your old ways of thinking, feeling, and responding have what I call cognitive momentum and emotional inertia. When you go to make major change in an area of life that's been frustrating, challenging, difficult, limiting, the old stuff will come up. It's not coming up because you're cursed or you're a loser or you have some mythical neurolinguistic boogeyman called low self-esteem. I don't believe in self-esteem. I don't think it exists. It's not because of that. It comes up simply because that's what it's always done. It has momentum. If you take, you know the story of Sisyphus? Does anyone know that Greek myth? Sisyphus pissed off Zeus somehow. I don't know what he did. He looked at Zeus's woman. I don't know what he did. So Zeus condemned him to roll a huge boulder up to the very top of a mountain, and every night it would roll back down again. So when you're building that momentum, it's going to roll back down on you. Does that make sense? So we want to make sure we give you a process so that when the old stuff comes up, you don't buy back into it and you don't feed it. Does that make sense?